Man, oh man, oh man. Family, great day, great day. Great day, great afternoon. It's not the morning time, but it is time for the Daily Toast. I need to make sure the lines are up so that my family could call in and we can discuss and toast. Cause it is a marvelous day. Yeah. What's up, y'all? Alright, so let me go over here to the Spreaker app. Because I know some people might be tuning in on Spreaker. Want to make sure I get y'all all up in the house so we can have a discussion about the workshop yesterday. We can have a discussion about the media shower. We can have a discussion about some of the stuff in the news. We can talk about whatever it is you want to talk about. But of course, we got to toast our ancestors. So now, first thing first, I need to go on and do some stuff for myself. So, family, I have to apologize because I'm still, even though I've been brewing, my fault, since I've been fermenting for a while, there's certain things that I have not got into the rhythm of yet. So I put together this marvelous tea mix. Tea mix is marvelous, family. Right? Shouts out to Brother Shaka. The tea mix is marvelous. But the one thing that I did not take into account even though I got all of this stuff, right? I know all this stuff, or at least I'm still learning. I forgot the fact that when the weather changes, whether it's going hot or cold, that factors in. That's a factor that I got to keep in mind when I am brewing. All right? So, this last batch is very, very mature. Right? So I need those of you that are drinking these batches to understand that the maturity level is very high. Why? Because it matures faster when it's hot. It's 80 degrees out here. If I have it sitting in the car, the hotter it is, the faster it goes. So rather than me doing my regular 3 to 4 days, I need to be doing a day and a half to 2, maybe 2.5 days so that I could get it out, so that I could have it to the sweetness where people like it. The scobies, they mature, but then also if you allow them to breathe, the temperature really won't matter. But what may matter is that you do have to feed your scobies. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things that you notice is that if they are sitting in the acid, right, in the vinegar, because that's that last stage. They're sitting in there, it's hard for other microbes and stuff to grow. But yeah, they can't age out, and if they start drying out, they will begin to get moldy with that heat, allowing it to lift up the moisture. If they start drying out, they will become moldy. But if you got enough liquid in there, most of the time, it will stay, unless there's just something horrible going on in the water or something got in there that's stronger than you. So the lines are open at 614. I'm about to do my song. 614-556-4535. Anybody that was in the workshop yesterday, that if you want to call in and have a comment about what went on in the workshop, because it was a beautiful time. We got to do a few of the exercises, which was powerful, and the next goal for us is to try to do a 3-day workshop. Now let me show y'all, just so that y'all can see. I want y'all to understand why this is a live and living product. It's a living food, and the color is a little bit different because of what I added to the recipe. I added the bee pollen. All right, so it's gonna be a little bit stronger too. But hold on, now watch. Y'all hear it? Y'all see it? When I allow the air to start escaping, once again, all of that stuff start moving up fast, right? Now, you got to be careful when you open it. When you're opening it, because if you have not allowed the pressure to escape, it will escape. All of it's going to come out. So this batch is a lot stronger. Now, the good part about that is that without a shadow of doubt, you're getting all of the health benefits of the drink, which includes the blessings that the green tea bring, far as clarity of mind, far as getting rid of some of the free radicals, far as the clarity of thought that green tea bring, and all of the health benefits, the green tea, the weight loss, all that stuff that green tea brings to you. Then you get all the health benefits of the raw honey, right? And we know honey can be used to cure. Honey strives to purify the area that it's in, right? It kind of works. It kind of reminds me of peroxide when you read about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's real sweet and it has a real good taste, right? Then the alchemy of that fermentation, which allows those microorganisms to start brewing and working together. And when you take them in, you got you a natural probiotic. You know what I'm saying? Not one that you got to go out and pay $250 for. Not one that the doctor need to prescribe to you, but one that came from somebody like yourself, and one that you possibly, if you want to learn, can go on and start creating for yourself so that you can have you a daily shot. You know what I'm saying? Myself, and Shaka, some of the other brewers and fermenters out there, we get to have a little bit more. We don't have to take shots. We could do glasses when we got it, and then supplement it with other health products that, you know what I'm saying, like I took my bentonite this morning. We got other health supplements that we could take, right? But we always have some on deck, right, that we could do. Even the Phoenix blood, which is extremely strong. All right, so now let's go on and let's just do what we're supposed to do first. Grab your glasses, family. First off, let me welcome you to the congregation, Imani. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. Right. This is the Daily Toast, and of course, you know this is a Heart of December production. Well, we strive to blow up those old paradigms. Grab your glasses. Drink your water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and sip some water. Take your breath. Breathe. Drink. Breathe. Drink. Now, lift your glass and sip some water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Lift your glass and drink some water. Now lift your glass. Lift, then drink. Lift, then drink. Now move your body, drink some water. Now move your body, drink some water. Move your body, drink some water. Just move your body. Drink, move, then drink. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Now raise your glass. Drink. Live, toast. Now, August has turned out to be a busy month for those of us that's in this community, in the conscious community, those of us that's on the black liberation struggle, those of us that's on the black consciousness struggle, those of us that's trying to bring enlightenment to each other. This has been a busy month. So we had Wakesa, who just came through. He did an excellent workshop. We got the African Village Arts Festival that's coming up next week. That if you got the black signal, you already know you got this flyer. And basically the African Village Arts Festival will be taking place on August 18th. That will be Kuumba, next Kuumba, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. At 1251 Brighton Road, the African Village, right over there by Kwanzaa Park. It'll be music, poetry, art and dance, art workshops, Yoruba traditions, community, mural painting led by Queen Brooks. Vending will be Saturday only from 4 p.m. to my fault. Vending on Saturday only, right? And then on Imani, August 19th, from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., there will be an art exhibition at 2070 Brighton Road. This will be at Baba's Gallery. And it'll be an art exhibition, The Digital Realm, by Hakeem Rakib from Boston. So family, come on out. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be food vendors. There's going to be live music, martial arts, arts and crafts, poetry, face painting, culinary arts. Sister CeeLo will be doing a cooking demonstration using the African Heritage Diet. Family, you know, we going to be in the house. Gye-Nyame going to be up in the house. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I hope to see you there. You know what I'm saying? Because we're going to have a real good time. We're going to be doing some building. Let me check my lines and see what's going on real quick. I want to make sure I got everything plugged in right. Because, you know, oh, my fault. I done clicked the wrong button. No wonder I'm getting the spinning wheel of death. All right. Well, it says my phone line is on. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to finish drinking. By the way, in the news, real quick, while I'm sipping on this. Family, take some time. Go out tonight and go out and there's the Perseid meteor shower tonight. You know what I'm saying? If you get an opportunity, just experience. Get some of that energy. Go and take a child out in your backyard possibly and just look. You know what I'm saying? This, you know, we're approaching the end of the summer, and it's like, you know, sometime we need to take some time and look up. Look at some of the stuff that's just out there for us, right? So I was yesterday I had to help I want to help my family move, and then after that went straight to the workshop, and then after that I went to celebrate my mom's birthday. We went to I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was a nice restaurant. Had a good time, had some laughs with my family. Then I was wore out. So I came and I slept and I laid in bed as long as I possibly could. And right now I got a beautiful view of Cleveland's Garden. And I got to go out here and put some seed because we're experimenting right now with potatoes. We're growing potatoes in actually, and this is not going to sound too appetizing, we're growing them in a trash bag. So with potatoes, because you grow potatoes in a mound, right? So what we're doing with the trash bag, we're filling it up and rolling the bag up. And it looked like it's doing all right. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to go out there and put some more dirt on the plants to kind of motivate them to produce more potatoes. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? We'll see how that experiment turns out. Our beautiful tomato bush was attacked by a gang of tree rats. And we have to give it the great farewell salute. You know, they tore it up. And that's how it went. But let's go and do this. Let's do this. I'm going to sip a little bit while I'm sipping before we get to the stars of the show, the ancestors. By the way, family, don't be shy about sending in your stuff for the toast. Now, interesting part of the conversation yesterday. Shouts out to Miss CeeLo. I see you out there. I got the people's looking forward to the cooking demonstration for the African Heritage Diet that you are presenting. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really looking forward to, even though you probably have gave instructions that I was not to be able to get a sample plate. I understand in one way, and another way I don't understand. You know, I know that I try to eat it all, but if they're not coming, you know, I'm trying to help you out. I don't want all that food just to go to waste, waiting for people, you know, just sitting there for the flies, and you know, because you know how people get. You know, I'm looking out for the community, you know. If they don't want it, Brother Hatim definitely want it. So, oh, you said Moat True? Is it Moat True? You want me to partake? Okay, I will be over at the table. Now, if you can't get rid of me, because I'm not performing. You know, I might have to bring some disguises because I'm gonna want several samples because Miss CeeLo be putting her foot in it. Now, check this out. If you could post up what is it that you'll be cooking. You know what I'm saying? We should not ever waste. I agree because I'm coming over and I'm grubbing. Family, listen. So, for those that don't know about the African Heritage Diet, it's one of the pieces far as in Gye-Nyame we talk about that culturally appropriate diet. There's certain things that you need to really start adding to your diet a little bit more of. Now, of course, once again, I always say, I'm not saying, and we're not saying that you don't, you know what I'm saying, that you got to stop eating certain things. But I'm saying is if you're going to eat, why not learn and start adding things that come from your culture, right? So, but back to the workshop yesterday, one of the most powerful pieces. And anybody that's out there that have something that they want to show or want to share from the workshop yesterday or the workshop on Nia, by all means do. Because I want to keep this conversation going, because I want to build up steam, because we are going to do a 3-day workshop. We are going to get people certified here, right? We're going to get people to a level of mastery and a level of practice here so that we can be successful in all of the ventures that we are doing. Because as I said, one of the major pieces that we see is this emotional self-destruct piece, right? That once stuff start moving, the emotions get involved and a beautiful idea and a beautiful moment is just torn asunder. It's just torn asunder. And I want people to understand this. I ain't just talking about one incident. So I don't want people just focusing in on one incident and focusing in on one group. I have been involved with several groups, and I've been involved over the years. It's been since, you know, I've been in this, at least here in Columbus, since I was 19 years old. I'm 50 now. Right? How many years is that? I'm 50 now. I've been involved here, and I've seen stuff rise and fall. And one of the things that I'm always noticing is the emotional self-destruct piece. And one of the things that this process, using emotions as messengers, bring is an opportunity for us to start really healing at the same time we are building, and at the same time that we are involved with our warrior stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So we now, you know what I'm saying? So now we have a process through which we can heal that goes deeper than me just thinking about some stuff. It gives me some actual practices that I can start using. Sister CeeLo says, I'm doing kale. Ooh, she doing a kale and sweet potato stir fry. What type of oil you using? Have you started experimenting with palm oil yet? Brother Shaka said, I made a butternut squash with onions, cinnamon, raisin, peanut butter, coconut milk, and God. Woo! The brother said, I made a butternut squash with onions, cinnamon, raisins, peanut butter, coconut milk, and spinach. Damn. Christine, Sister CeeLo say the ginger ale and that kale charred carrot mushroom stir. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right, I'm just saying. You ought to try that palm oil. Oh my God. Now another thing that I'm working with right now is clarified butter. Right? That clarified butter is throwing a nice little flavor on some stuff. But one of the things I did last week was matter of fact, I'm gonna do it after I get off here. I cut up some thin potatoes, cut them real thin, mixed in a little bit of I oiled them up using the palm oil and a little bit of the clarified butter. I seasoned them real good, laid them out individually on a pan, and I baked them for about 15 minutes. Right I started off at broil to get it nice and hot in there. And then I turned it down to about 425. I put it in there. And also I did the same thing with kale as well as collard greens. Put them on there real thin layers. Put it on there. Had me some chips in less than 20 minutes. So now I can make my own potato chips. My own, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of them. Because, you know, my wife, she used the African yam. So I'm grabbing me a African yam. But when I say thick, they are thick and they're hard to cut thin. So I'm thinking about trying to cut one of those just so that I can see how they would taste if I was to be able to do them like I did a regular potato. So hopefully I got some sweet potatoes in there. I could do that too. Brother Shaka said coconut milk is $1 a pint at the Dollar Tree. I will once I finish a gallon of grapes. When you go shopping, you be buying it. You need a real slicer. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm working on a budget, brother. You know what I'm saying? I can't go out and specialize in all these tools, So, once I jump into a hobby, I jump into it and it costs me money, right? Once I start exploring, like when I started brewing, you know what I'm saying? Brewing, a lot of people don't understand. When I started fermenting took a nice little piece of my money. It takes a nice little piece of my money. I got into the t-shirts. That take a nice little piece of my money. Right? I'm sitting up here posting up pictures of me sitting on the side of the expressway in a broke down car. You understand what I'm saying? So life goes on. And so you're right, I do need a new slicer, right? So I will get my money together and get one. I have a professional mandolin slicer. I have no idea what that is. Y'all two having the shelf talk right now. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand. All right, so one of the most powerful things that came out of the workshop for me from yesterday, Feelings as Messengers, the Blacknificent Seven, was when we started talking about the emotion of sadness. So once again, let me pull out my notes. Oh man. Where is that? But here it goes. My kids was here. Nope. Ooh, my kids got my tax forms. My kids I think they working for the man because my kids got my tax forms all spread out over everything. Oh, I'm looking right at my notes. They on my lap. All right, so in the workshop, he gave us this, and I showed y'all this last year. Right, those on Spreaker that can't see, it's a circle, and on the circle there's 6 emotions: mad, sad, scared, joyful, peaceful, and powerful. Right, 6 basic emotions. And one of the ones that he said that really caught my attention, he said that sadness was the key to power. Let me say that again. Sadness was a key to power. And I'm sitting up here, a key to power. A key to power. Because what happens is that when we don't take time to deal with sadness, we get stuck where we are. And the world moves on. And because we haven't dealt with our sorrow, because we haven't taken time to grieve, because we haven't taken time to let go, we are dealing with an alternate reality. We're not dealing with what's real. We're not dealing with stuff in a sense, in a timely manner, which means that we, how can I put it, are putting ourselves at a disadvantage because we have not taken the time to grieve what was lost. And because we're stuck where we are and time has moved on, we're dealing with things as if everybody is where we are. When in fact, everybody might be on something else. But you're stuck and you can't truly express your power. I mean, this stuff, when you really start sitting down and you start working with it and you start not just thinking about it, because this is where we get caught up in the conscious community. We get caught up in our heads, right? And the piece that I came, terms that I came to a long time ago in Gye-Nyame, we talk about 3 levels of learning: memorization, intelligence of the mind, and intelligence of the heart. Intelligence of the heart. And intelligence of the heart is the highest form of intelligence, at least from Gye-Nyame's standpoint. It's the highest form of intelligence because it goes beyond just you being able to mentally think about something. You know what I'm saying? Now you possess it and it becomes part of you and you're working with it. Intelligence of the heart, which requires you not only to think about a subject, it requires you to feel a subject. So it brings a balance. It brings that balance between thought and feelings, right? So now I could live, not just know, because we know people who could go on and break down all of the greatness of African history, but they don't got any of the hows because they're just in here. They're not practicing the very thing that allowed us to move to this. And one of the things that I'm becoming clear on it was the fact that we praise the being. We praise the being of each individual in the community, right? We negated the negative doings, but we praised the being. And it was the praising of being that allowed the Imhotep to arise. It was the praising of being that allowed a Hannibal to rise. It was the praise of being that allowed that allowed us to do what we did. You understand what to do in the world what we did. And if you want to keep a people down, attack the being, right? You attack the being. Part of our being is our culture, so we attack the culture. Because when you attack the culture, you're attacking the cultural being or the collective being of a group. I'm like, damn. I'm like, yo. I mean, the opportunities that this process presents for us. What would happen if we was to just in the few families that we have in Columbus, Ohio, was to start practicing this just in the few institutions that we have in Columbus, Ohio, and we started practicing the whole idea of the being of an individual, the true self of an individual being sacred, and we honored that sacredness. We corrected the doings, but we praised the being. We negate the doings, but we praise the being. We never negate the being. And what do you mean, Brother Hatem, by not negating the being? You know what I'm saying? The attack on the person, the attack. You don't attack the person. You don't attack the being. We don't have to agree. And this doesn't mean that we run around here mamby-pamby, soft and tender and all that. It doesn't mean that. It means us taking into account the fact that as a people, we came in this realm as perfect beings, seeking peace, peace, power, and joy. You understand? We came in with these feelings, right? But in order to get us to a point of subservient, to get us to a subservient level, being had to be attacked. They have to denigrate your being. They have to negate who you are. They have to negate your being. They have to negate your culture. So not only as an individual are you wrestling with, are you worthy? Then you got to look at your group and be like, are we worthy as a group? And you have to really wonder about that. And while you're wondering about that, right? Your creativity is not working for your benefit. It's working for the benefit of other people so that you can prove that you're worthy. The shit is, it's a vicious cycle. And we got this, we got to break that. And I'm just throwing the gauntlet down, family, here in Columbus. I'm saying we can do this. We can do this, right? And it's bigger than just a workshop. Because if we just take the little bit of skills that we have right now and start working with them and start practicing, and then bring down other, because the whole piece with Workation is bringing Workation and his wife down so that, one, we could commune with another group of individuals from another state that's practicing this, but also so that we can hone our skills. Because if they've been working on this for 30 years, how many different experiences and how many different exercises can they expose us to help us sharpen our emotional sword? Right? And by putting those emotions, because think about it, the emotions, when we throw up and we talk about the 5 parts of being in Gye-Nyame, the emotions is right in the middle. See it? Right? We use the hand as the 5 parts of being. Emotions right in the middle. We got 2 on the left and 2 on the right. But right in the middle is the emotions. The emotions is a pivotal thing that we have not been looking at. Right? And it's the key. It's almost like it's the key to us activating everything else. Everything else. We want to activate the genius. We want to activate the business. We want to activate the politics. We want to activate all that in our community. We have to go and learn to master these emotions. Not even master, but learn how to listen to them and learn how to ask the right questions and learn how to communicate with each other. Learn how to make everybody in our circle feel that they, as a being, they are worthy. Now, you might have some fucked up actions. You might have some fucked up doings, which we all do. We all got fucked up doings. And we all do need to be checked on our doings. But the being is absolute, complete, and perfect. You understand what I'm saying? And for some of us, that's so hard, we won't be able to get past that. We want, for those of us that's stuck in a hard place, we won't be able to rise. We won't be able to deal with that. But the fact is, family, this is a powerful idea. It's a powerful concept. And once we really, really start working with it, we're going to start noticing the changes. Like right now, Gye-Nyame, we're working on getting these cultural appropriate holidays, these cultural stabilizing holidays, right? And we have to organize. So imagine in every group that comes together for these holidays, we make it a rule that we have to practice emotions as guides. We're able to create safe environments where people could come, and if I see something that's troublesome to me, I'm able to bring it up, and the group looks at it. And I know sometimes we be pressed for time, and I truly understand that, and that's an aspect that I have to work on within me. I understand that. I understand that, because that's something to me. We ain't got time, right? I believe that we don't have time sometimes, and maybe that's just because a lot of times I talk about this whole ego piece, because one of the brothers on Black on a Black Signal asked me. He said, what does a healthy ego look like? You know what I'm saying? And it's like one of the things that I have discovered, for me, at least for me, is that the ego is the youngest part of my being. You understand what I'm saying? It's like the ego is the part of me that was born in this lifetime. The self, the absolute, complete, and perfect part of me has always been around. That's why we talk about it's divine. It is what it is, right? But the ego that develops with each lifetime is the youngest part of me, and that youngest part of me is running. So it's sort of like the child running the family. So of course there's going to be chaos in my life because I'm listening and I'm allowing and I'm responding to the child aspect of me. So of course I'm going to lash out at people because I'm listening to the child in me. I'm listening to the ego. The self and the self of the other people around me are billions of years old, possibly. They're old as time itself. But the youngest part that's running that meeting, the youngest part that's running these organizations, which is the ego, the youngest part is trying to guide the elder spirit that's in each of us. It's even beyond the elder, that divine spark that's in each and every last one of us. That self that he's talking about, that being, right? The ego is running all of that, and it's causing confusion in each one of our lives. Shouts out to Miss Navita Nelson. I see you out there. So we're going to drink this water. We're going to do this toast. The lines are open, 614. Let me lock that up there. Because I'm getting kind of hungry. I sat up there and talked about making these chips. I'm going to make these chips. And I didn't post the number? What the hell I'm doing? I'm slipping. I'm sorry, family. I didn't post the number up. So the number, call in number is 614-556-4535. If you have something that you want to share from the workshop, by all means call in and do. You know what I'm saying? If you have some other news that you want to discuss, because this is that Imani, and we do have the capabilities of discussing all of the issues. I also want to remind everybody once again that coming up on this Kuumba, we will be having the African Village Arts Festival at 1251 Bryden Road, the African Village, right over there by the Kwanzaa Park on Bryden Road. August the 18th, 2018, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We're going to have, once again, music, poetry, art and dance, art workshops.
This call is being recorded.
Tradition, community mural painting, led by Queen Brooks. We're going to have live music. I'll be able to let you know.
B-Jazz is going to be performing.
Who? B-Jazz. You mean B-Jazz. The world famous B-Jazz? What?
The world famous B-Jazz is going to be performing, yeah.
We going to have any surprise performances coming with B-Jazz, perhaps? Or we don't know yet?
Maybe. We don't know yet.
Because B-Jazz play with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
somebody on a saxophone that I hope pop up. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I've been in his inbox. A little bit. He said he's coming though. Anyway, he told me he's coming.
Well, I mean, if he coming, but he gonna have to have his case, because I'm sure gonna be up on his ass. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because listen, family, this is what I keep on saying, man. We in the Midwest, we be suffering from this whole self-esteem. We got some of the coldest people on the planet that came from here, on the planet, doing what they do. And I'm not going to say this brother's name because I don't know if he's going to be there. But he's one of the best saxophone players ever.
In the world.
Ever.
He travels all over the world.
So I'm just like, yo, if he pop up, so I'm like, yo, family, so we need y'all to come out and show out in a healthy way. All right? Oh, Sister Navita, you was at the workshop. What did you, you came on, Nia night.
Nia.
Do you want to share something that you got off of that?
Yeah, I sure will. First of all, I have to say, every time I'm in the presence of the Wakesa, I learn something, even from his verbiage or from his energy. alone, I bring something back with me. The thing about it is the whole, like, the emotional piece and dealing with the emotions and even just within our own circle. One thing that stood out to me was when he was talking about I am, therefore we are, therefore I am. And it's focus sometimes that we have this approach that it's not good to focus on I and yourself, but he was saying you have to focus on yourself and the I. Because if you don't focus on the I, then it just messes up the whole we part. But we have been told that, well, you just worried about yourself type thing. And he said in so many words, that's not a bad thing to necessarily worry about yourself, because if you don't bring your good self to the we, then you mess up the we, in so many words he was saying.
So the we, the we depends on the quality of the eyes that are there.
Right. Exactly.
So if the eyes aren't healthy,
also another piece that I kind of that really stuck with me is when he talked about where we got this idea that elders could not be wrong, and that an elder has the last say. Shouldn't always be the case. You know, because sometimes elders can be incorrect. And when we've gotten to this notion that, like, oh, you don't have anything to say, we don't even want to hear what you got to say. Because this is what the elders said. But everybody got a place to say something. Everybody. So if, as an elder, if you shut somebody down from saying something on the premise of, I'm an elder and I say so, that's not good emotionally. Because that person needs to be able, now whether you agree or disagree with what the person said is not even the issue. This person needs to be able to say it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you know, and that kind of reminded me just of how we also, many times we raise our children in our community with this, well, I said so and that's it. I don't want to hear you, whatever you got to say. But, you know, it kind of reminded me of that, into where sometimes, even though you may disagree with what they say, at least hear out what they had to say.
Having appropriate ways of dealing with children, because like I said, we have many survival tendencies that may not be as effective in this day and time that we brought with us from our terrible trying. You know what I'm saying? That aspect of our history. You know what I'm saying? That you know that we still struggle with. You know what I'm saying? And we're bringing that forward. We bring that forward, and I mean, because there was a certain time where we had to kind of, if we wanted to survive, we had to kind of hush up young folk. You know what I'm saying? Because shit would happen. You know what I'm saying? In many cases, it still happens, but then it's like we could get to a point to where when somebody has an opinion that is disrespectful for them, it's like the way we express it is not that your opinion is disrespectful, is that the fact that you have an opinion or disagree is disrespectful. And that becomes problematic in our community, because that shuts down people from sharing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's it's like you are wrong for having an opinion, rather than, all right, cool, let's explore this. Is what this person's saying is true? And then if, you know, like he said when he gave us the piece, he said the guidelines. The first one is try it on. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Let's look at possibly what how this individual feels. Is it some truth to it? Is it not? You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. Let's discuss it. So at least the individual can feel safe. And it's like certain things that we take as disrespect are not really disrespect. It's not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not. And I had been growing up in the community, like when my, I remember people saying, because I would tell my son, well, that, he should be able to come to me and express what he feels. And other adults that would sit around and see that engagement, they thought it was disrespectful that he even questioned me and what I had a question about what I said. And that was alone. Like, that's disrespectful. You don't question grown folks, but it's like, let me hear what you got to say, and then I'll give it back to you, and boom, that's it. You know what I'm saying? So we had that kind of relationship where he could tell me almost anything. It didn't shut that door because he didn't feel like, he was going to be attacked. Like he said, if someone brings it to you, don't attack them, because now they're not going to bring stuff to you no more.
Right.
Because they're going to feel attacked that if you bring it to them. So I would allow my son to bring certain things to me that other people would look at it and tell me that was disrespectful. And I'm like, well, I just wanted to hear what he had to say. Didn't mean I was going to agree with him.
Right. See, and that's
but I still wanted to hear what he had to say.
Right. And that's the struggle we have. That's the struggle we have, because it's like, boom, it's almost like you're saying you're not worthy to because of your age, you're not worthy, because we do understand that at certain ages you don't understand everything. But the piece that I really dug about what he was saying was, boom, at least hear what they got to say, so that they, because, like, for example, when we look at in the book the book I wrote called The Player's Pyramid, I flipped the Nguzo Saba upside down, and we worked through the Nguzo Saba from supposedly the bottom to the top. So we start with Imani, and for those because if you listen to my shows, when I talk about the days of the week, I say the principles on there. In the M7, we didn't use faith, but we used trust. Right now, in the Player's Pyramid, we talk about having trust or having faith in yourself first, right? And once you have faith in yourself, and you can open up and start having faith in others, this allows for the creativity to happen, because right after Imani comes creativity, and the key to creativity is that faith in yourself, that trust in yourself, and that trust in the entire community. Now, as an individual, all I need is faith in myself, and that'll spark the creativity in me. But if we want to build as a community, I have to have that faith in myself as well as faith in my community. And when I have that faith and I trust that what I'm going to bring may have some value, and people, even if they don't agree with it, would allow me to get it out, and that sparks creativity. And when we don't allow that trust to grow in our community, we get stuck in these ugly ass loops. You know what I'm saying? It's like, sometimes, Sister Navita, sometimes it would be that I could see us moving to the next level, and I would be feeling good, and I can't wait to get back to the next meeting, and then all of a sudden the shit would self-destruct. It would just blow up right in front of my motherfucking face, and I'm like, why is this shit happening? Why is it happening? Right? But somebody else is on the line. What's up, Miss Tracy? What's going on?
Hello, too. Hi. I just want to comment that my mom has the same relationship. She raised me in a way where I could tell her absolutely anything, but it was always when it was going to rely on my delivery. It's not what I say, how I say it to her. I think that's where the thin line with the respect and disrespect comes from, when you're giving your opinion. And with the example that was shown to us when he was speaking on his daughter being 9, I could see how, that was her language. That was the best way she can explain that on your own business. So I thought that was something that my mom had always said. And I kind of relied on that to be able to say anything that I wanted to, as long as I knew how to say it. And she would listen.
And and like I said, and as a group, by us getting together and practicing these things, we'll be able to kind of check each other, or better yet, remind each other. Not even check, but remind each other. You know what I'm saying? Because this works better in a community setting, because it's like, boom, we understand that nobody has arrived. We all are constantly growing. We all are constantly struggling, and we need to be able to be in a situation where we can remind each other about these processes when we're dealing with children, when we're dealing with each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's why when I heard this for the first time, I'm like, this is it. This is it. We got to get this, and we need to move forward with this. You know what I'm saying? But somebody else on the line. Who else on the line? Because I got a 622 on the line. Who is that?
That's Navita.
That's who?
Me. This is Navita.
All right, then I got a 937 on the line. Who is that?
That's CeeLo. I told you, CeeLo was here.
Oh, what's up, CeeLo? What's going on?
CeeLo.
I didn't.
CeeLo in the house.
What's up, CeeLo? All right, so you got something you want to share from the workshop? I know you do.
Well, real quick before I go, I got one more comment to make. It was spoken about how you have to kind of have your we in order to be collective with your I in order to be collective with the we, and it just made me think of interdependence, communication, and cooperation. Well, interdependence, cooperation, and communication, where it's us working together. It's definitely been important, but we also have to be individually getting ourselves together so that we could be productive in the week.
Right.
Cooperating, communicating. So that's what I wanted to comment on.
Go ahead.
I had to get off the app. This is Tracy. I had to get off the app to call.
You did?
Yeah,
oh,
I got that.
Man.
Yeah.
That's all right. But I'm glad you're using the app. Thank you for using your app. I truly, Gye-Nyame family, appreciate you, because I'm not wasting that money. It brings joy to my heart to know somebody out there using that app. Lord have mercy. I'm so happy right now. Don't know what to say.
It's really convenient because it doesn't, when you're working on something else on your phone, the app keeps going until you do something like make a call.
Right. That's what I want. I want to make it convenient, and I want to bring value. So hopefully, I'm bringing some type of value to your life, Miss Tracy. And I need you to know that I appreciate you, because you be.
So is everybody on the line going to be present on August the 18th?
Wow.
I plan on it.
I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
Be there. You know, Tracy's a major piece of the whole Gye-Nyame piece. Because man, she be keep me in order. So I'll be like, yo.
Now,
go ahead.
Was she the sister that was there with her daughter?
Yes. She came to the Malcolm X Festival, and then also when we did the very first, she might have been at both of them, but when we did the very first movie night, I introduced you to her. So,
Okay.
Yeah, I was working at the door.
We got a new location for the movie night. It's in the same building, but a better facility within the building. So, and it fits more people, and it's more spacious, and the sound is better, and so the next one, hopefully we'll see you there when we do Dark Girls, which will be after the festival. When I'm finished with this festival, then I can work on the movie night.
All right. Well, she worked there. She knows.
Okay, well, yeah, she's there. She's in there. But anyway, the Wakeka piece, that is a very powerful piece. I think it's very powerful, like you said, Hakim, about us dealing with the emotional part of us as a people, and that helping us to make progress in the communications that we should have with one another, because, sometimes, and it's, just dealing with what we deal with on a daily basis in this country,
man,
we already have hostility on us. You do?
Oh, man.
So sometimes it's kind of the hostility, we take it out on one another, the lack of distrust, which, we take out, what Kester talked about, we take out on one another, and we have to learn, which we already know these things, we have to learn how to trust one another again. But that's a given. I think that everybody knows that's something we have to learn. But how to recognize and deal with certain situations emotionally is really helpful in us making any kind of progress.
That's right. I mean, bottom line, CeeLo, it's on you. So what you going to do?
Well, just to, everything that Navia shared, everything that Sister Tracy shared, and everything that you've talked about as well, foundationally, we have to start at a place of healing for our people. And my vision for myself and what I want to bring and contribute to the community and to our nation is that culturally appropriate health and wellness. And that includes mental health, emotional health, psychological health. A lot of times when we come to try and work with our people, we're such a wounded people, just what Baba Wakesa was sharing, there's so much distrust. We don't even want to deal with one another. We would rather deal with the oppressor, our definite enemy, than to deal with each other. How mentally ill is that? To actually look at your own and say, yeah, but I'd rather deal with them. The one that's trying to destroy me. The one that does not have my best interest at any way at heart. I would rather deal with them than with you. That's mental illness.
So I got a question for the people listening right now. I had a conversation with someone this morning. How do you handle these types of situations? Now, let's say you're in work and you try your best to support the African Americans on your job as much as you can. So you come to the defense of a particular African American that's on your job that over what the other people may be saying. You come to their defense. But then when the tables have turned, they stab you in the back, and side with the oppressor. Even though you had their back when their shit was against the wall. When the tables flipped, they still want to please master. So badly that they don't give a damn that you had their back. It's more important for them to please master than it is to be loyal to you.
Now,
what do you do when that happens? How do you handle that when that happens?
Anybody else want to go?
Because that's a big part of the trust thing.
Oh, man.
Now I'm looking like I can't trust your ass. And
hold on. Now remember.
People that look like me, who have done that to me. So my question is, because I know all of us have probably dealt with that to some capacity, how do we deal with that as far as a trust issue and bringing that trust back?
Now, is it that you...
I faded out for a minute. I had to take a call. A lady wanted to put an ad in the book. But, so, what were y'all saying?
She gave a scenario. So you want to get a scenario again? Go
ahead. Basically, it's like you work with an American African and they get into some type of issue at work where they are all coming against this particular American African. And you step in and side with this American African and you have a back against everyone else. So then when the tables are turned and your back is against the wall, they side with the white folks over you. And they done stabbed you in your back, knowing that you had their back when it was against the wall and you saved them. They don't come to your defense. Matter of fact, they may even be the one that come to your demise. Like, oh, yeah, well, I did seem to be taking a little extra 5 minutes on that break the other day. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. Now the trust is broken. And I was just having a conversation with someone today telling me this very scenario that happened to them at their job. And I've had it happen. I'm sure a lot of us have had it happen. And that's one of the things that happens that causes this trust that we speak of. How do you deal with that scenario and like that individual that has perpetrated that?
Sister Navita.
Yeah.
Hey, Sister Navita, if you could also share the example you gave Friday night, because that really spoke to how a lot of times our emotions are misdirected the situation you were sharing about when your grandson had hurt himself and how you were acting out of one emotion when, and what you were putting towards him was the opposite of what you wanted to convey.
Right.
And how our emotions can oftentimes become misdirected because we're so misaligned emotionally, and we don't even know the root cause of why we're feeling and thinking and doing what we are.
Which, like I said, Tim was the one that put me in Tim put me in the checkpoint, like, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You yelling at him like you mad at him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not mad, I was scared because my grandson fell and hurt his arm at a barbecue. And then I kept asking him, is he okay? And I guess I was really aggressive at it to a point where I was yelling and coming off like I was mad. But in reality,
you were scared.
I was scared that something was that he was really hurt. But the way I showed it, it came off as not as being scared or concerned. It came off as I was angry.
And now going back to your point, what I wanted to say is now, remember when we're discussing especially with our folk, you know what I'm saying? We're not. I don't trust you. It's I don't trust that you can do. It's the do. We want to condemn the doing of the individual, and we need to let that individual know. Look, I mean, with what you just did here, I don't believe that you will be able, to handle my trust. Not that I don't necessarily trust. I don't trust that. I'm not that I don't necessarily trust you. But then also this gets into us having those conversations prior to us getting into some of these situations with people, because sometimes we do want to side with folk just because they look like us, and we put ourselves out online because they look like us. But then are they really us? You understand what I'm saying? Because sometimes we just look at the color of the skin and be like, you with me? Because we you know what I'm saying? But no, sometimes some of us are so sick, we're just looking for an opportunity to crush you. You know what I'm saying? We all been in those situations. So you have to be clear with an individual. If this person is really your family, is this person really down for what we doing? So sometimes we stepping up for folk that it might not even, they not even on that. Now it's our job to, in many cases to try to find a way to get them into the information. But like I said, when you put yourself on that line for them, understand that if you have not had that relationship with them, right, that what can you really expect from them? What do you expect they're going to do? They're going to do what they've been taught to do. I can't trust that you are going to do the right thing.
So, the solution is you need to, have this conversation with the person before the incident even happened.
Right, you need to know where they're at.
Conversation with the individual.
See, because think about it, Navita, I'm quite sure you already filled out stuff at your job, and everybody here probably filled out. We know who's black at our job. And I ain't just talking about complexion. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of dark-skinned white folks running around out there. There's a lot of Agent Smiths in our midst right now because they don't know. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the being pieces, it's cool, you know what I'm saying? But we still have to practice what we're talking about right now. It's like, look, I don't trust. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't trust, because if you get to identifying and attacking the being of a person, Elder Wakesa say, when you attack the being, be sure that you want them dead. Because in a sense, that's what you're doing. You're throwing a curse out on them when you attack being. And that's basically what's happening to us. It had been happening to us. It was why we're so scarred. Because it's basically people been hurling curses at us. Not just cussing at us, but hurling curses at us. When you condemn somebody's being, right, you're cursing them. Right? So the piece is, now we have to start practicing. This is why I keep on talking about this 3-day workshop. Because right now I'm kind of stuck on how do I address a person's doing separate from their being. Because I have been convinced for so long that what I am, what I do.
Time.
You understand what I'm saying? So if a motherfucker's stealing from me, if somebody's stealing from me, use a motherfucking thief. This, you know what I'm saying? You are what you do. This is what. This is
That's
what.
all. Yeah.
This is what has been ingrained in me, and what Elder Case is saying is that the person's being is separate from what the person's been doing. As a matter of fact, this whole society is based on making sure that you realize you are what you do. When you fail, guess what? You are a failure. But according to the new paradigm that we're giving, the blowing up of the old paradigm, we start to realize that I am not what I do. I am separate from my doing.
And that's something I struggle with. And see, that is something that I struggle with because maybe it's ingrained in me so long that, you know what I'm saying, I feel like you are what you do.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Oh, yeah.
But then when they listen to Orchestra, that's a struggle for me. I'm going to just tell you right now.
And that's
I have to.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, and that's the beauty of it.
No, I'm just saying that's a struggle for me.
Right. That's the beauty of it. Because for me, if there was no struggle in this, I would have walked right past. But the struggle is, when I say I'm trying to blow up your old paradigms, I'm trying to bring stuff that's going to blow up the old paradigms because the old paradigms are not working for us. You understand? It's not working for us. And what he's presenting is a whole new paradigm, a whole new way of actually, he's talking about us formulating and learning a whole new language. Because I got to get my mind to work different. Because just like you, I have been programmed that if somebody do something, that's what they are.
Okay. Yeah.
So, that person right there that did that to you, you know what I'm saying? That person is a betrayer. This person is a liar. This person is a conniver. And what's being presented to us is that we don't want to attack the being unless we want them dead, unless they declare themselves our enemy. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that individual declared themselves your enemy, have at it. You know what I'm saying? If this person is part of our community, part of what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? We don't attack the being. We don't go to warrior stuff with each other. We go into healing mode. But if this individual is not part of your collective, have at that shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just saying because it's like we're trying to build, but it's like, and then we got to watch our reaction because a lot of us we're moving off of old scripts. You know what's crazy for me, and I wanted to bring it up in the workshop, but it's so embarrassing sometimes.
Come on, Vaughn.
I used to catch myself in the midst of confrontations, quoting movies. I know that shit, son. I mean, this is me. I would quote movies during situations, or I would reflect on how I saw something, how I saw somebody respond in the movie. I don't know how many other people out there did you?
John.
Huh?
Come on.
Hello? Who you yelling at?
I'm sorry. It's real life here at Gye-Nyame Journey, y'all.
It's real life. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off, but I'm just like, because it's my mind, I'm just like you, Sister Navita, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around that whole piece. And the piece is, because it's a struggle, I know it's good. Because it ain't just, I can't think my way out of this one. There's no complicated equation to work around this one. This is some personal work that I have to do, and I'm committed to doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm even trying to change some of the language that I'm using on the show. I'm gonna have to change the language that I'm using on the show a lot of times, because I can't be speaking for the we all, you know what I'm saying? Because I go off into speaking for the we, like everybody feel like I do, and I don't know that. But what I am the authority on is how I feel about shit and how things are affecting me, and you know what I'm saying. Which means that gives other people like yourself an opportunity to be like, shit, I experienced that, or I haven't experienced that.
Navita. What did you say?
Navita, are you going to the meeting at 2 over at the gallery? I'm on my way over there.
I'm I'm on my way.
Goddamn,
All right,
nobody
I'll
told me.
get one more vendor nailed down, so I'm on my way.
Nobody told me about the meeting.
Well, I was gonna call you and tell you this morning, but I was like, I hate for you to drive out. You be gone so much throughout the week, back and forth between Millennium School and the North Side. I didn't want you to have to come for this meeting. And Makeda said she was gonna make it quick.
Okay, cool.
So anything you needed to know, I was gonna give to you.
Cool, thank you. All right, family, so this is what we're going to do, because we got 2 people that's about to roll out. I'm going to do the toast, and then if anybody else want to call in and continue the conversation, if you have experienced the Blacknificent 7, you want to share some information, you have some other information you want to share, you want to continue talking about the African Village Arts Festival. If you want to talk about, because I'm about to blast it out, and then after that I'm going to be on the Marcus Garvey Festival. Family, this is a busy month for us. So, I mean, I'm like, damn, maybe Black History Month. Ooh, I got a beautiful butterfly out there on one of my flowers. But, real life here, Gye-Nyame Journey, y'all. But, you know, I mean, these are some powerful tools that we could use to really learn to look at the world in a different way, family. I'm just saying. That is a beautiful monarch butterfly out there on one of my flowers. And I'm so grateful. I mean, it's like, you know, I mean, so much stuff happening. But all right, cool. Let's do this. All right. First, call on the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. Man, it's Ambrosia. This is, well, you know, I don't even smell no honey. But I don't smell no, it ain't make it to the vinegar yet. Yo, and by the way, those of you, when you get the ambrosia, if you have it sitting out and it becomes vinegar, just take small shots of it. Because you still going to get the benefits. And if you eat a lot of salads, use it as a salad dressing. Hell, use it as a seasoning. Cook with it. I mean, you got to be creative, fam. We got to come up with different things on how to use some of the stuff that we are able to create. All right, so calling the creator by whatever name you choose to call that creator. We call that great force, that great power into our lives, which is already here. But we just want to recognize and we want to lift our glass to that very first ancestor, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to our great list of our ancestors, and I'm still waiting for some of the family to send me some of their names, because I'm running to people saying, hey, I want my ancestors on there, but you know, we got a pretty long list. But we got room. So we call on our ancestors: Miles Brown, Miss Ann, Robert the Texas, Davis, Herman Brown, Senior, Rosalie Tilly, Georgia, William Walter, Kristen Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Finn, Cleveland, Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Pet Maya Ram, Malika Fakur, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ageni, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carlisle Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling and Lucy Wright, Daniel Pullian, the Luxor Brothers, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Carol Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Rendelman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend Jay Smith, Louis Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Carolyn D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agosa Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Linda Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, Mary Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Sophia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quells, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quells, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, Essie Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. West Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Harvey World, James Farmer, Marie Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Imhotep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frank and Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy. Now to the pretty book. Got it upside down. Jacqueline Broadus, Ethel H. McNair, Lois Fernandez, Edward R. Benson Sr., Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Hiram Phillips, William Ford Jr., Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Urban Sr., Michael Urban, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Battles, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Sanders, Baba Naeem, Tim Butler, Ramey, Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., John Dewey, and Ruth Beard, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bet Vaughn, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Rome Alls, Henry West Staten, Joel Jamel Alls, Miss Vanilla, Alvis Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Earlington Houston, Albert Moore, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nana Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Frances, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Vivian Stevenson, Neely Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Doretha Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lester and Rachel Saunders, John Bowie, Alex Nixon, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, Janie Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Aunt Becca, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Lee Irby, Tom Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Haley Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavers, Jerry Doyle, Mina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Emma McClendon, Dan Wilkerson Sr., Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Irvin, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Stacey Trice, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Cathy, Jennifer Sensible, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, R.G. Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Pina Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbert Longmire, Edith Catney, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Phyllis Lee, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, Edna Bostic, Winifred Scantleberry. We raise our glass, saluting all of our united ancestors, and we say, Ashe. Ashe. Next, we move from there, and we move to the present moment. I got a little bit of time, so let's do it.
Come on! What's the matter with you? Tomorrow. Let's do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
Family, we are in the moment. This eternal moment. So we lift up our glass to this eternal moment, saluting ourselves, saying that we will march forward. We will start the practices that will make the world better for our young people. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move to our future, our children, our children's children, on to infinity. We're going to lift up our glass for them in advance, right? We're going to salute them now so that they will be strong enough to salute us later. And we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move and we go to to all of our relations, lifting up our glass, saluting all of our relations in this universe, this marvelous universe that the Creator has laid out for us, and we say, Ashe. No, this ain't last. Now, this is where we do the selfish libation. We raise the glass right now for all of our personal needs. What is it that you need to become a better I? What is it that you need in your life? Family, and don't be shallow about it, because when we call our ancestors and our Creator here, they're here. So I raise up my big glass for you right now, right? Full of that God juice, that ambrosia, right? Go and get your toast on. What is it that you need in your life? You don't have to shout it out loud. You can keep it in your mind. I know what I need. And we say, Ashe. Now, last but not least, definitely not least, I lift up my glass to each and every last one of you. Yes, indeedy. Right? I want to toast the most powerful being in the room, and that's you. I salute you, and I say, Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Family, I wish you peace, power, joy, in 100 years. All right? Hot damn.
Ashe.
I'm sorry, this is ambrosia. Oh. Man, strong, but hey, it's doing the job. So, Miss Trace, you got something else you want to discuss while you on the air? Hello, Miss Tracy, you still there? You got something else you want to discuss?
This is CeeLo.
You said who? Oh, this CeeLo?
CeeLo. This is CeeLo.
I didn't know that was. I thought you had hung up to go to the meeting. You driving and
CeeLo is driving in the car.
Oh my God. Well, I'm gonna go and get off of here because I don't want anything. I don't want nobody to put you over. I don't want nothing to happen. So I'm gonna go and end the show unless you got something that you want to share with the peoples.
No, just, I really just hope that we can be ambassadors for this healing that needs to take place in our community. But, looking forward, we definitely need to put those, extended, extensive workshop in place.
Oh, yeah.
But, those of us right now who do have the knowledge, as we begin and continue to interact with our people and in our building, that we keep in mind that we are not just warriors, we're not just builders, we're not just healers. We have to incorporate and embody all of them simultaneously in order to accomplish the mission. So,
on those strong words and those strong that strong food for thought as well as feeling, we're gonna end. I want to send shouts out to everybody call in. Shouts out to Miss Tracy. Shouts out to Navita. And, of course, shouts out to Miss CeeLo who just closed us out. I want to remind you that you are now toasting with the congregation of the mighty. This is Gye-Nyame Journey Media. That's right. We just finished the Daily Toast. Man, oh, man. And we finished it on a great note. And, of course, this is the Heart of Summer production. Where we strive to blow up your old paradise. All right, family, I'm out. It was great toast this morning. I'm going to finish this ambrosia, and I'm going to go make me some chips. Peace. All right, peace out. Spreaker.